Welcome to another episode of Minority Report featuring Black-owned businesses. This is a platform on YouTube that celebrates Black-owned businesses, of course. I interview entrepreneurs, but I also review their products. I'm a content creator. I'm a Black-owned business coupon book creator. I do a lot of things, but definitely engaging with other entrepreneurs is my favorite thing to do. And tonight, my guest is familiar with this platform. He's been here before. He is such a wealth of knowledge. I'm so glad to have Darrell Anderson with me. He is the owner of Chef Jospeh's KickSauce. It is some banging hot sauce. I've had it before. It is so good. Thank you, Darrell. Thank you for being on. I'm so glad that you're here with me tonight.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Now you're down in Virginia, right?
Yeah, Virginia Beach.
Okay, tell me what is going on in your community. We're seeing, protesters. We're saying enough is enough. We're, tired of police brutality and injustice within the Black community. What does it look like in Virginia Beach right now?
Well, surprisingly, you have a lot of protests. You do have the protests going on, but you also have a lot of fear as well, because keep in mind, this is where the hub of a lot of the things that got started when it's dealing with the indoctrination processes. So you do have a sector of fear from what I can see, scared to step out, scared to speak, that type of thing. But we are having protests here, and so far I think most of them have been pretty peaceful, and that's what I've been seeing so far.
I mean, the Confederacy is alive and well in Virginia, for those who don't know. So I can just imagine just the conflict of those who are saying, listen, the history is just what it is. It's history. And those who still want to, wave that Confederate flag are on the wrong side of history. So I can just imagine, what those conversations are looking like in barbershops, at the grocery store, wherever else people can stay at least 6 feet, 6 feet apart. People want to speak out. But I do believe that this is an incubator, a really great time for entrepreneurs to either, grow their businesses, or for those who are interested in entrepreneurship to just jump in and get started. I know that, like I said, you have Chef Jospeh's KickSauce. Run the story back to me one more time for those who are new to my platform and have never heard of you before. Tell them exactly how you even got started with Chef Jospeh's KickSauce.
Wow. Yeah. So I was running a barbershop and a medical transport business in a small country town in Bedford, Virginia. And I knew that I had to go to another level in my life. I knew that there was something great for me to do, but I did not know what. And so what happened was I was on my motorcycle riding one day, and the church was having a fish fry. And I said, hey, so I went up to this guy, said, hey, y'all got any hot sauce? And this guy told me, he said, no, you don't want no hot sauce. I said, yes, I do. He said, nice to meet you. My name is Jospeh. I make hot sauce. I said, really? Okay, so I said, well, here's my business card. I'm an entrepreneur, so if you want to talk one day, just here's my card. Give me a call. So about 10 months later, on a Saturday morning, he called me and he was like, I've been praying about it, and I basically would like for you to sit down with me to tell me what I need to do, or possibly partner with me on this project. And so as we did formulate a partnership, we went over the recipes and signed non-disclosure agreements and everything. And he basically decided not to carry on when he started seeing the work that was involved.
Okay.
Yeah, he basically sold me his half of the company. And,
wow.
Just like that. So it wasn't easy for him. He was going through some things, personal things. And his last words to me, he said, I envy you, but at the same time, I admire you. And I said, why would you envy me? We're partners. He said, I envy you because I sold you my half of a multi-million-dollar recipe. Wow. He said, but I admire you because I know you're the one that will take it all the way to where it needs to go. And so from that point, it became my company. I still left the name, for branding purposes, Chef Jospeh's.
Wow. I mean, that's incredible everything literally just lined up right on time for you. You stumbled upon this sauce, and you had the fortitude to carry it on. And I say this all the time, Black people, we have just within us so many gifts, so many talents to share, with the world, but we don't ever stop to think we need to monetize this. Right. It could be great grandmama's pound cake recipe, her ice cream recipe,
Right.
daddy's barbecue sauce. We just don't even stop. We go generation after generation passing these recipes down and
Yeah.
never stop to think, we need to package this thing. We need to
Yeah.
monetize this and
Right.
create a lasting, legacy. I
Right.
just think,
Right.
and that's what I just think is so incredible, about your story. And I love hearing it over and over and over again. And I really hope that, someone hears this and becomes inspired. But since then, since you've done Chef Jospeh's KickSauce, you've gone on, like you have been pivoting since before pivot became popular. You went on to create a training program for
Yes.
those who were interested in getting their product into stores. Can you tell me a little bit about that and how that has progressed since the last time we spoke?
Yeah, so it was very interesting because, all the hours that it took for me to develop all of this, the phone calls and just the legwork, I mean, it took a long time, hours and years actually for me.
Right.
And, but how it all, what spun it into the teaching programs was that so many people would try the KickSauce, and this is actually what it looks like here.
Yeah, there you go. That's my hot sauce right there. That stuff is good, especially if you are a lover of, hot food, spicy food. Yeah, I'm telling you, you gotta try some. It's really good.
So when people would try it, they were like, man, this is good. You sure you own this? You don't own this. And I said, yes, I do. And so many people would try it, and it just got to the point that I was like, God's trying to tell me something. Because so many people were saying, I can't believe you're doing this. My great grandmama left me a recipe for a blackberry cobbler. Right. This person had a recipe for, I think it was a liquor called the Passport. And I have a gift now. I've developed the gift over time to be able to see brands and see how to market it. And I was like, you know what, you have something. But the problem comes where people don't believe in what they have. And so that spun me into workshops and seminars. I started doing seminars and workshops, the Chef Jospeh's Entrepreneur Boot Camps, the Chef Jospeh's Kidpreneurs now. And so now we went on to start getting government grants now to be able to teach entrepreneurs across the country now.
That's
so
awesome.
Last time we spoke, I was traveling, but not on the level now, because now, we're getting funded to do this in multiple different states now.
That's an awesome way to transition into my next question. Funding, right now, with all of the boycotting and all of the protesting, I mean, the community is really starting to unite and come together. And we're really talking about, calling these corporations to the carpet. They have been either started on the backs of Blacks, or they basically have been able to grow into the massive empires that they are now because of Black consumerism. And now we're asking and demanding that these corporations invest in us now. So since we last spoken, you've now been able to get grants and travel and not just teach adults, but also teach children. What do you say to that business owner, that entrepreneur who wants to take advantage of, we're starting to see funding opportunities come from Lowe's. We're seeing funding opportunities come from PayPal, major corporations, Nike, cosmetics companies, everyone is really stepping up. Now, we don't know how genuine they are, and we don't know how long these opportunities and these open doors are going to last, but for the moment, you can strike while the fire is hot. What do you say to those entrepreneurs who are now looking for funding and the funding is becoming available? How do you want to, encourage them to say, get out there and do it?
Well, it just, as you were speaking, the first thing that came to my mind is I stopped at a place to get something to eat earlier today. And I asked, it was a Black lady, actually, she was making my food. And I said, have you ever thought about starting your own business? And I know this is just a little shift to the left, but the first thing out of her mouth was, I can't do that. And I'm like, that's the first thing that comes out of your mouth is I can't do. And I said, well, who told you you can't? And she just, it kind of stopped her, because I said, because you can do it. I mean, you have the talent to do this. And so back to your question is that, first of all, you have to believe. That's the first thing. You have to believe in what you have, because a lot of our people have been beat down so low, or they're around the wrong circles who don't believe in them and things like that. You can't let that rub off on you. And so to go to that level is definitely getting your paperwork together, finding your idea. My mentor told me before he transitioned, have a product or a service. That's it. That's all. A product that you can sell or a service you can render. So if you have those type of any one of those two, then get your paperwork in order, do your research, and do your test runs. Make sure people like your product, and then go from there. I talk to and consult with people from Black-owned exterminator companies, you know, that have stuff that they can really put out there, and it's like they're still stuck. And it's like, wow, come on, do you realize what you're sitting on? And then it's like, yeah, it's definitely something.
I mean, it's amazing to even hear stories that people are just paralyzed and they're not ready to, you know, take that leap of faith, or they don't believe in themselves enough when, you know, there are people like you, there are people like me who are here, and we're trying to stroke you and encourage you as much as possible. But if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't speak what it is that you want to do into existence, if you're not trying to manifest it, if you haven't prayed about it, if you haven't tested it,
Right.
and that's the worst part. They have tested it. They, you know, those fish fries, those baked pies, I mean, they tested it. They're known in their family member for that macaroni and cheese, or, you know, whatever. They're known, and people continue to come back to them. That's the key, that word of mouth marketing. So now you just got to take that next step. You know, you got to just put it out there and really take advantage of this time. Like, we are in a time right now where anything is possible. It could go far left, it could go far right, but I think if we choose to stay positive and invest in ourselves and invest in each other, we have the potential to just go extremely far. Now, as far as, you know, you have your boot camps and your training classes, you're training kids, you know, what's it like for you to train kids now?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, the Chef Joseph's Kidpreneurs, and basically, what is it like? You know, for me, looking at this is our tomorrow's future. You know what I'm saying? And you see so many kids or children who don't know, whose parents are not, who are kind of clueless to realizing that their children are the next generation. Mm-hmm. They just say, okay, this is my child, let me just raise my child. But they don't, I'm not saying all parents, but a lot of children's parents don't really calculate or consider that this child could be the next this or the next that. So let's hone this skill and develop this craft within this child, because this is our tomorrow. You know, so that's what it's been like for me, is really educating the kids and the parents, and bringing them on board, realizing that they can do it as well.
When the kids, I'm sorry, but when the kids are coming, like to your boot camps, what kind of ideas are they bringing? What are they? What, you know what I mean? Like, what their minds, you know, because, you know, kids are pretty palatable. You know, you can kind of shape and mold them into whatever. But now we have children who are far more advanced. We are now in the information age, and they just have access to everything. So I can just imagine, you know, the kind of things that they want to do. Like, what ideas are they bringing to you when they come to your boot camp?
Yeah, I just had a seminar, Kidpreneurs, probably about 2 months ago. And the idea is like, it was a 2-hour long seminar. You can actually go to my website and see some of the footage there. And yeah, the questions for 2 hours, those kids were like very attentive and talking about trademarks, talking about protecting their ideas. And the ideas they had they were definitely doable, product and service based. So I was like, wow, these children are like really ahead of the curve. And so one of the things that I would like to encourage all children is to realize that, okay, if you have this $600 smartphone, you can text for this, text for that, text for the rap music or whatever. But why don't you reverse that and take some of that energy that you're putting that way to realize what you can do for yourself? And that really sparked the light bulb right there with them.
I can only imagine from my little vulnerable days, you know, of just teaching vacation Bible school. I mean, the kids just come up with just the craziest ideas, and they believe in themselves far more than adults. So I can just imagine what it's like, you know, to try to get them to still hold on to that childlike wonder, and that their imagination, you know what I mean, anything is possible. Anything that they can conceive, you know, they can absolutely achieve. Trying to get them, you know, to stick with that once they get into adulthood. And now, you know, it's bills and relationships and student loans and car notes and this, and dreams start to go away. So, I mean, I'm definitely grateful that, you know, I mean, you have decided to not just teach, you know, adults, but to also start teaching children, so that they would have something that they, you know, I mean, that they have the ability to make an impact as well. So again, you know, we're talking about pivoting. You've pivoted your training, you know, your training classes and your boot camps to children. Now you've also got into alkaline water. So like, you got a whole new product. I want you to tell me about that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a bottle. We just finished production today. This is actually the Chef Joseph's ginger lime drink.
All right now.
It's
yes, hold it up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So this is and not just promoting the product, but this is ginger root lime juice with 10 pH alkaline water sweetened with organic molasses sugar. Ooh. And so it is a 20-ounce bottle, and it's a very clean drink. And not to mention, it raises your pH in your body. So when you look at the health benefits of ginger, fighting off colds, some people, I'm not a doctor, so I won't claim this, but some people have been known for it to fight cancer. The alkaline water, by it being so high in alkaline, which will kill any bacteria, or at least most bad bacteria in your body. So people that buy this or even drink alkaline water, they tend not to get sick because acid cannot live in an alkaline environment.
Exactly. Because I was going to ask you to, to talk about the benefits. And I'm so glad that you were able to break it down, because I want people to walk away from this interview not feeling like alkaline water or increasing your pH is just a fad, but that it becomes a lifestyle, and that there are products like yours that are available that people can, can use and incorporate, and slowly, if they have not already, begin to include more, beverages and foods that are, with pHs that are a lot higher. Where can people go to get your ginger root alkaline water? Ginger
lime. Yeah, they can
go ginger lime. Ooh.
Yeah, ginger and lime juice. Yeah, it's you can go to www.chefjospehskicksauce.com. chefjospehskicksauce.com. This is where you can order your products from. And but yeah, it's a really good product. And I wanted to tell you a little bit too. See, what people have to realize is that when the body it's basically alkaline and acid, okay, and you have neutral. So a lot of times when you're eating a lot of bad foods, a lot of meats, things like that, it stays within the neutral acidic range. So that means bacteria grows within that range, like 6.5 to 6.0 and down. Bacteria festers in that type of environment, whether it's your body or whatever place you could be. And then the alkaline raises it up to 9 and 10 pH, where acid can't even survive in an alkaline environment. So that is not just a fad. I mean, it is something that really will heal a lot of people. People have beat drugs from alkaline water. That's what I was about to say. So basically what happens is people were relapsing off of drug addiction. And because they were getting clean, but what was happening was they were still going back to the same diet, the same water, the same diet. Right. But it's basically the cells remember, oh, that food tastes like this when you went down this street to do that, and that trigger. But the alkaline, when you raise your alkalinity in your body, it actually flushes your cells back and resets them back to zero. So the cells don't even remember anymore. See what I'm saying? That's why this stuff is some powerful stuff. And the battle then is not in your body and your mind, it's only in your mind then, because the cells don't remember. You just got to train your mind to do it. Yeah. Wow.
I mean, that in and of itself, like, I'm sold. I mean, I've already been drinking alkaline water. I actually will go online, and there's this one health store that I like to go to, and they sell little bottles of pH. And even when I run out of alkaline water, I just, fill my favorite jug like this with all my little fruits and stuff in it from my Brita, and I'll just add 2 or 3 drops of optimum pH, and that automatically increases, the pH balance in my water. And that has, like, I can honestly say, has done wonders for me. And I've been doing that for probably about 4 or 5 years now. Wow. But I mean, I would love to try, your ginger lime alkaline water. I'm open to trying everything. I love to review products. That's kind of my thing over here.
I'll ship you some. Sure.
That would be incredible. Thank you so much. But yeah, I mean, just that testimony of people who have been suffering an addiction, using alkaline water, increasing their pH to help them fight their addiction, holistically. I mean, that in and of itself is worth the value of getting your water. So again, I want everybody to know exactly, how they can get in touch with you. And I mean, for mentorship, for those people who feel like I can't do it, because trust me, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. But for those who are teetering, can they get in contact with you for mentorship, for coaching, your boot camp? boot camp for kids. Oh, and you have a coloring book, right?
Yeah, actually, yep. Just released, yep, the Chef Jospeh's coloring book.
I
Volume 1.
love it. I
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
it. And if you pay, show you a couple of pictures in here. It's that's one of them. But it's basically a chef's coloring book for children. And you have different stuff like hamburgers and just different things.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a 52-page coloring book, and it's a Chef Jospeh's official coloring book. And so this is basically for the little children chefs who decide they want to cook or whatever. You know, this is something to keep them busy here.
Yes.
On the website as well.
I love the innovation. I love that you've been able to pivot and turn your business and do more than just hot sauce and just boot camps and just seminars, and that you are able to help families, the whole family, the adults, the children, everybody. And I want people, again, because like I said, I know entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but those who are, they're on the edge, they're strongly considering it, they just need that extra push and somebody to believe in them. Right. Please let people know, how can they get in contact with you, or, when's your next boot camp, everything.
Right. So right now, with the COVID-19 thing, a lot of things and the seminars have been put on hold. I do virtual trainings and virtual consultations and things like that. But they can go to my website, which I told you, chefjospehskicksauce.com, and they can basically go to the contact page and submit, what they're trying to do. But yes, I do offer consultations, and basically my consultations are like step-by-step, one-on-one type of training to basically get you right on the right path. And because right now is the time to do it, because when you look at how many people are unemployed, you know what I'm saying, and you can cook, everybody wants to eat, they need to eat, things like that. And you've been talking about these pies, you can sell the stuff right there online and basically make your own money.
Mm-hmm.
So we offer consultations, and and you can find me there.
Now, see, and we've been here before, and we've seen the success stories when the government, just as an example, when the government shut down and those two sisters in DC decided to start selling their pies. And then, the story basically went viral. And then you had Ellen, the Ellen show reached out to them. And, that could be you. That could have, that you could be the next Pie family or Pie sisters. I can't remember their name, Lord forgive me, but that could definitely be your story. We can take this moment in time, no matter how tragic it may be, and the injustices that we're experiencing, and our leaders who are or just remaining silent. We can keep our foot on their neck, and we can chase these dollars at the same time. I want people to be encouraged. Darrell, I want to thank you so much for coming back to Minority Report. I thank you. You are just, again, a wealth of knowledge, and I really try my hardest to present people who are subject matter experts for my followers, my followers on social media, my followers on YouTube, my newsletter subscribers. I definitely want to give them people who are going to give them the real, give them real information. So if you have that pie, that cake, that pudding, that biscuit, that pancake batter, and you're trying to get it in the store shelves, but you need to make sure that you're FDA approved, you need to have your nutrition labels right, Darrell Anderson is your guy. And he's already told you can get in contact with him directly, chefjospehskicksauce.com. I thank you so much for being here. Any final words before we log off?
Yeah, I have two things. And one, this is, I think we talked about this before, this is the Chef Jospeh's Market Ready Guide. And this basically is a market ready guide to teach you the step-by-step process of how to do it for yourself. It's an easy guide, it's an easy read. You can take notes in it as well. And these are the steps that you would need to take to be able to get your product into the stores, or just basically getting it into production. But I want to definitely leave you all with this story. And for the confidentiality's sake, I won't say names, but I will say that I'm actually the personal friend of the legendary Aunt Jemima, her niece. I'm friends with her. And they're down in North Carolina, and she makes this chili. And it's like, okay, this chili sells out. Her co-worker, everybody asking. And this is the legendary pancake Aunt Jemima, her niece now. No exaggeration. And I'm like, look, do you realize that if you just put this chili out, and in the legendary niece of Aunt Jemima, do you realize that your life will be changed like
forever? Forever.
Fear is what has her. She started crying like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm like, well, you've been praying for an answer. Here it is. But some people want to be free and some people don't. You know, I'll just say it that way. So it's very disheartening. So for those of you who have those type of stories, you need to do it now, because I'll tell you now, God is not going to be pleased if he gave you any type of talent, and there's no need talking about it now. This is about action. That's it. Thank you.
Oh, that man, listen, that was powerful. I don't know who gonna listen to this and miss out, but I'm hoping that you don't. I mean, just the niece of Aunt Jemima alone, like you said, the name recognition, the branding. I mean, she can't lose. But I mean, I know that we depend on that biweekly paycheck, that 401k, that health insurance. I know, but there's a possibility that you have something that the market needs, that your neighbors need, that the members in your church need, and you need to stop giving it away for free. You need to package that thing and get that into the next Giant Eagle, Piggly Wiggly, Whole Food, Target, wherever. And Darrell Anderson of Chef Joseph KickSauce is going to be the one to help you.